All right, let's talk cannabis and PTSD. New studies show that cannabis may have a lot of benefits for patients suffering from post-traumatic stress and anxiety. Joining us now to walk us through this is board-certified doctor and co-owner of the Sanctuary Cannabis Dispensary, Dr. Pejman Bady. And thank you so much, Dr. Bady, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and so let's talk about the relationship from cannabis to marijuana, from cannabis to PTSD, post-traumatic stress, and how you believe that it can help people, especially our veterans who have served the country.
Yeah. So the post-traumatic stress disorder is not just for veterans. It's actually any kind of stress that allows a human to go into some sort of a vicious cycle, that the thought of the event starts having some effect on their physically on them, but it's most prevalent in people who've been in wars and seen what they see in war. And so that's why it's such a huge thing in veterans, and it's been studied really well in veterans. So there's a lot more information about it.
Right. And how can cannabis help them with that?
Yeah, the most recent studies have come up that the people with PTSD have a higher number of glutamate receptors, and the cannabis THC and both CBD have a direct effect on CB1, CB2, but CB1, which is really works on the nervous system, allows these receptors to be blocked, and hence the patients don't end up in that vicious cycle, and so they don't go through the panic attacks or whatever anxiety or fear disorder that comes up after having a thought, or any kind of stimuli that could be through color, smell, anything like that.
Yeah, so many triggers that could be around them, and I would imagine that if they don't have relief from that, it can really be debilitating and really affect how they lead their lives. Yeah.
Funny enough, I trained when I was a medical student at Los Angeles VA in Westwood in the psych department. And back then we didn't have cannabis, and it was such a huge thing. PTSD on significant number of medication. Most of these people are homeless, and I've seen the devastating effects of PTSD, especially on our military people, and it's just absolutely devastating.
Right, and we're also focusing on military specifically right now during this interview, because May is also Military Appreciation Month, and because of that, the Sanctuary is actually treating veterans to 15% off. You're trying to help them in any way you can to try to make this a more affordable option for them. It's for a pre-roll for a penny a month long. It's at both locations. You have one in North Las Vegas and also downtown. But additionally, you're giving some money to charity as well. Tell us about that, Doctor.
Yeah, so there's a really sweet gentleman that runs a Veterans Care charity, and we met with him, and we us at the Sanctuary and Cannabis and MMJ Polaris pulled together $5,000 to give to them, to the charity, and hopefully we can repeat that before next year. But I especially am very thankful for what all our veterans do for us.
Yes, and we are too. We thank them all for their service. And if you want more information about the Sanctuary, you can go to sanctuarynv.com. Again, they have two locations, one downtown and then also one in North Las Vegas. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
Nice to have you.